Jake and Lily by Jerry Spinelli. I'm Jake Wambold. I'm Lily Wambold. This is the story of our lives. Life. Whatever. We're taking turns. For this intro, we're taking turns on lines. Like this line is me, Jake, and this line is me, Lily. Then we'll take turns on chapters. We don't know how many chapters this book will have, but even if it had 1,000,000 chapters, we couldn't tell you the whole story. Because, well, it's hard to explain. You'll just have to take our word for it, especially the beginning. You might think it's weird. Forget might, they're gonna think it's weird. Anyway, you're going to hear from me, Jake, because, don't say it, I'm older. Ha! That's why I did the first line too. Whoopee. But that's not the cool thing. Finally, he's off. Who's older? Who's first? The cool thing is, we can do this without looking at what each other is writing. We could show each other, but we don't have to. I told you might think it's weird. Gonna. Let's get started before we weird them away. Not so fast. Tell them how much older you are than me. Here we go. Tell them. 11 minutes. Happy? 11 measly minutes. First is first. Because of 11 minutes, I'll be in second place my whole life. Boo-hoo. One more thing. So you probably figured it out by now. We're not just brother and sister. We're twins. That last word was done by both of us. Jake. Light. Hurricane of light coming at me. Swallows me. I'm blinding. Screaming light. It's gone. I'm still here. Dark, cool, silent. Below me, railroad tracks gleam in moonlight. Cool, rough cement on my bare feet. Somewhere a clock strikes. I count. 3? In the morning? I'm in my pajamas. Where am I? Why aren't I in bed? Am I dreaming? I smell pickles. I'm not alone. I hold out my hand. Lily. Our hands touch. Everything is okay. I just had a dream, he says. About what? I say. I was standing down there. He points to the tracks, and there was a bright light, and a train went through you. He looks at me. How did you know? I had the same dream. We look at each other. We look up the tracks. There's no sign of a train. Maybe we're still dreaming, he says. Poke me. I poke him. Harder. I poke harder. He squeals, ow! Tickle me, I say. He tickles me in my worst spot. I howl. We're not dreaming, he says. Not anymore, I say. Where are we, he says. We look around. Railroad tracks, benches, wooden posts prop up a roof that brims out over the concrete platform we stand on. A dim mist of light from the street behind. I think it's a train station, he says. What are we going to do at the train station, I say. How did we get here, he says. We stare at each other. Sleepwalk? I say, not believing myself. Sleepwalk, he says. I don't sleepwalk. Me neither, I say. We stare into the darkness. Crickets shake their rattles. Well, I say, I guess we do now. We're quiet some more, thinking. Or trying to. How do you think about something you don't understand? Lil, he says. Huh? In the dream? Yeah. Did you smell something? Yeah. What? You say it. Let's both say it. Pickles! More silence. A distant voice shouts, but I can't make out the word. Jake? Huh? Are you scared? No. Me neither. Silence. Night. Jake? Huh? When the train came? Yeah. Did you feel something? What do you mean? Feel. When the train came, did it feel like something? Yeah, it felt like a train coming. What else? Huh? What else? What else did it feel like? He looks at me. His eyes go wide. He smiles. Home. Jake. That's how it started. I said home, and my sister smiled, and then for no good reason, we both started giggling, just standing there giggling on the train platform in the middle of the night. We left the station. We started walking down the street, talking. And talking. And talking. We were only 6 then, but we were old enough to know something amazing had happened. We had both sleepwalked to the same place at the same time on July 29th, our birthday. And there was more. The train station, the train. All of our lives, we had been hearing the story. We were born on a famous train, the California Zephyr. Our parents already knew They were going to have twins, but we weren't supposed to come out for another month. So Mom figured they had plenty of time to go to San Francisco for Uncle Peabody's wedding. They took the cross country train instead of flying so Mom could be more comfortable. After the wedding, the train tra- Whoops. After the wedding, on the train back, we were born to the surprise of everybody in the Moffat Tunnel. The Moffat Tunnel is over 6 miles long and goes under the mountains in Colorado. Personally, I was perfectly happy to wait until Mom got home to be born. But Lily, of course, being Lily, she couldn't wait. I swear if I concentrate real hard, I can remember her inside our mother pushing me from behind. So into the world we came. First me, I'll say it for her, ha. Then Lily, in a compartment in a sleeping car, by the dark windows of the Tunnel, and pickle smell, because it happened so fast that Dad came rushing from the club car where he had just bought and taken his first bite out of a big fat dill pickle. There was no doctor, just Dad and the conductor and two waitresses from the dining car. So now we walked along the night-lit streets and talked about that and boggled over it and nudged each other and giggled at the amazement of it all. And we started to remember things that up until we hadn't thought about much. Like the time Lily was crying, I'm stuck. Only she wasn't. She was sitting on the living room floor with a coloring book. It was me who was stuck. Mom found me in the backyard. My foot had gotten caught beneath the fence and I couldn't pull it loose. Like the time I yelled stop and Lily heard me and stopped. Just as she was about to chase a ball into the street when a car was coming. No big deal. Maybe you're sane. Except at the time I was at the dentist, 5 miles away. Lily. As if that explains everything. As usual, Jake misses the point. He skims the top off things. Sure, what happened was that we both sleepwalked to the train station at the same time and had the same dream and talked and talked. But that was just the cherry, the whipped cream. Down deep with the hot fudge and ice cream was what else happened, what really happened, which was this. We became ourselves. I know, it sounds weird, but it's like on the train in the Muffet Tunnel that night, not quite all of us was born. I mean, it looked like all of us was born. Something was missing, the knowing. We didn't know who we were. Not really. The important word there is we. We just went along with the program for the first 6 years, being but not knowing ourselves, being twins. To everybody else, adorable, mysterious twins. To ourselves, duh. So what's the big deal? And then we awoke that night hand in hand at the train station, and it's like the rest of us was finally born. We knew, at last, we knew. We saw ourselves like everybody else saw us. It suddenly hit us. We're different. It's like a beautiful present had been sitting there for 6 years and we never noticed it. And then finally we did and we tore it open. And wow, the present was us. So what exactly is it that we finally knew? Well, we knew that not everybody can hear their brother from 5 miles away. We knew that not everybody yells, I'm stuck, when it's happening to somebody else. Okay, that's what we knew about everybody else, but what about us? What did we finally know about us? We couldn't say, we could only feel because there was no words. It's like whatever it was, it existed on the other side of words. So if you were following us on the way home from the train station that night, you wouldn't have heard regular full sentence talk. All you would have heard were scraps like, did you see? And what a fantastic? And do you believe? And that's about all, because the rest of the talk was happening between our heads, not our mouths. What an amazing night, the night we unwrapped ourselves. Before we knew it, Jake pointed to the sky and said, look, it's morning. We had been circling our block all night. 2 6-year-olds in July in PJs and bare feet. We raced for home. The front door was wide open. We ran to the kitchen, grabbed cereal boxes and bowls. We were just starting to eat. Hard to do when you're gulping giggles. When Mom came down, she nearly fainted. What are you two doing up? You're never up this early. We're too excited to sleep, Jake said. It's our birthday, I said.